Alright, game replays. Here we are again with game 2 from the series between KOT and Aimstrong. This is our first semifinals matchup of tourney number 19. Let's roll that video, shall we?
Okay, I'm back.
Quiet on set. Did you think that that video had a little slight taste of awesome and epic? Well, if you thought that was a little slight taste of awesome and epic, get ready for what I'm about to tell you now. Guess who's in the other semifinals? Just take a guess. Think about it. What would be the dream matchup of tournament number 19? The dream COH matchup of this patch, of this year? Yoink, I'll let you do the honors.
I am so excited to announce that we are going to be casting one of the semi-games between epic legends Seb and Sefa right here on Season 2.
Oh, Nerdgasms, baby! Woo! That's right. You heard it here. Seb and Sefa. Nasty, nasty, nasty. So while y'all get like chills in anticipation for that monster, we're gonna run game 2 here of the other semifinal. That's right. Aimstrong and KOT. The sides are reversed. Aimstrong will be this time playing the what is he playing? The Brits? I'm not in game. Take me, help me, Yoink, save me.
Well, you know what? Not at all to discount any of the other players in this tournament. While Seb and Seth are two great players, KOT and Aimstrong are also great players themselves. And while KOT maybe really got spanked in that last game, I think he is going to play game 2 here with a lot more excitement. I don't want to give anything away. This game certainly is probably going to be a lot more exciting than game 1. So we are going to see a PE matchup. We're going to see KOT playing the PE, and we are going to be seeing Aimstrong do some Americans in the north of Longres. How does that sound, Ami?
Indeed, indeed, indeed. That's my favorite matchup in the game. The two fastest factions, full of quick-moving infantry and flanks and quick vehicles. Yes, Americans in PE, and there you can see that NTD has updated our brand spanking new overlay. Props to Seb for that. He coded that little bad boy. I designed it, and he coded it. And doesn't it look great? Look at that. Simon 1-0 up over KOT. Americans versus PE. Here we go. The timer bar has been blackened out. We've got our SNF logo. And so, we're ready. Let's do it. We're going to unpause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Now, in the last PE-US matchup that we had, we saw the destruction of a Kettenrad very early on and just how it completely gimps a PE player to lose a Kettenrad in the first maybe 3 minutes of a game. Boy, map control just rapidly fell to the Americans, and it was basically the end of the German player from that point on. So, all of you inexperienced players out there, or ones who just need to be reminded, don't lose your Kettenrad when you're playing PE in the first 3 minutes. It is a catastrophe any way you look at it.
Yes, not even Dr. Horst can come back from that kind of setback. So I'm actually following Kot's PE. I didn't ask you. Are you following the Americans by any chance? Maybe one of us.
I will follow. I'll follow the Americans. That's fine. Looks like
Please
what
do.
we have in the north. I was going to say is a standard barrack start with a rifleman coming out and
okay, that was the question.
Engineers, yeah.
All right, I was curious if he might do a Jeep start, but okay, it looks like pretty standard from Simon after that very non-standard Wehrmacht PE spam ponage. My goodness, I was having nightmares of Mags the C ampersand N $.
Right, yes. You know, a lot to we're not seeing... I'm not sure what you're talking about there, but okay, I will roll with it because you are my co-host and I love you.
Magpies is a C ampersand N $. Anyway, we got an engagement here.
Yeah, we've got perfectly executed American grouping together with engineers and rifles, but you know what? They are not going to be able... What is this Kettenrad doing? Push! The Kettenrad is doing a Jeep push! Now that is
welcome
some
to the
seriously
new
ballsy
patch, ladies and gents. This is what the Ketten can do to your rifleman now. He can push you out of green cover as if you weren't getting owned enough by those 2 PG squads. How about like running back and forth and not even shooting? I learned that the hard way, let me tell you. I was in an engagement where I think I lost. I had like 2 rifle squads in green cover versus, you know, like 2 PG squads. And there was, it wasn't even the Ketten, it was like that Schwim thing. Pushed me out of cover, and I took 9 casualties and did not kill a single PG. I quit right after that and said, "Oh, learned something."
Yeah, that's pretty ragey. That'll make you rage. Now look, that Kettenrad has done double duty as a combat unit, pushing units out of cover, and decapping that all-important strap point. You know what? Aimstrong has no resources right now because nothing is connected to his base. This is a serious problem for the American player this early on.
A lot of COH players kind of have a deep resentment for the Ruka clan. They've always been a bunch of badass COH players from Russian, and I think a lot of them are friends in real life. And but I, on the other hand, I have a respect for them, and I've actually been to their website and I've looked around at their website, and there is a whole thread section devoted to PE. They love PE, and they you know, like guys like Swix and Dr. Horse share strats with each other. Kot about how to use this faction to its maximum potential.
You know, here we got some more combat right in the center. Boy, look at these rifles. What are they doing? They're running through so much PE damage, not really doing any of their own. And now, finally, here we got some American resources coming up. A huge squad of Americans coming in, taking cover in that, right behind that hay bale. But look at this aggressive Ketten. This is combat Ketten right here. It's only at 75% health. Oh, going down. Wow. Is he going to be able to escape in time using those roads?
Kitty, go! Yeah, use that red line to get out of there, bro!
That is aggressive combat Ketten 101 right there. I mean, it doesn't even have any guns on it, and look at how much damage it was able to do.
He was a star. What a violent start to Game 2, right? It's just like non-stop rifle fire. There hasn't been a quiet moment yet.
That's been seriously bloody. Tight, fast combat in the center. That is some seriously, I mean, that'll pucker you up, you know, when you're sitting there on the edge of your seat, because there is no room. You got to hit the retreat button with a microsecond amount of leeway. That's all you have in terms of saving your units or not.
How is Aimstrong doing so well? I mean, even with the Ketten there, he still managed to, and running across red cover roads, he still managed to win that skirmish and push into enemy lines. I mean, I don't know. I'm impressed. I'm a little bit shocked. I'm in awe.
Well, it's crazy is that both of these players, while there's been this intense combat that they've been looking at, even as we have it now, they're still working the rest of the field. There's other units outside of this combat that we're looking at that are engaging and capping in other parts of the field. That is some serious ability to split your attention around the game map while you're engaged in combat. I certainly can't do that. That's why I'm not a pro. How about you, Amy?
No chance. And this Ketten might have seen its last light of day. No, he's smart. Oh, he tries to get away but fails. A long shot destroys that Ketten. Now that's going to set back Kot a bunch as he is hurting for some map control, and he really needs that capping power.
Now, I don't know, I think probably Kot upgraded defensive operations because I see a lot of full-strength Panzer Grenadier squads while the Americans desperately need some sort of healing center because, boy, this rifle squad that is retreating through the center right now just barely escaped. He has like 1 health point to his name.
Indeed he did, and you can see the PG's building logistic company right now are healing as they build, so yeah, those are some fresh vanilla PGs, but look, the ones that are fighting now, none of them have any upgraded guns, so it's odd that he's saving his ammo. I wonder what he's got planned.
If he's building logistics company, he might be doing a Tier 1, Tier 3 fast MP44s kind of an action going on here, you know? It's Peacekeeper strat.
Could be, could be.
Americans have put up a supply yard.
He's going straight to Panzer support command, so... Wow.
Okay, so
I don't know, he doesn't have a lot of fuel. He doesn't have either of the high fuels. I don't know if that might be a good decision right now.
Well, he might be going Panzer Support Command because he expects an M8, which is probably exactly what Aimstrong is doing based on the fact that, yep, we got a motor pool now going up in the American base, so this M8 is moments away.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of players say that they're pretty much forced to go ATHT, that you know, they just can't do it with Shreks, and they almost have to build the ATHT first when they fight Americans. You see some upgrades there. That's good for the PGs. They got some veterancy.
Yeah, boy, there was some bloody combat right there in the middle. Just, I gotta say, you know, Kot is really, really good at grouping his Panzer Grenadiers together in green cover and just focus firing the heck out of these rifle squads.
So an ATHT is building. You got your M8 on the way already?
M8 is about 10% built already right now. And, you know, Aimstrong's got a lot of understrength rifle squads waiting to be healed up in his base, including some engineer squads, too. So he is bleeding a lot of manpower with this combat with these full-strength Panzer Grenadiers. I think this is going to be something he's going to have to worry about in the very, very near future. He's going to have to solve this problem.
A very nice cutoff move from Kot. As soon as he got any kind of skirmish advantage, he went straight to cut the Americans off of their 2 +10 resource points on the right. So Aimstrong is not benefiting from the +10 fuel and the +10 ammo on the right now. And so let's see. Strangely, he didn't go to contest his strat point. He's moving to flank. Where is he going exactly? Here comes the M8.
I'm not sure. He's got 21 income for fuel and 26 in the bank, so he's doing pretty well. He's double upgraded this M8 with almost all of his munitions. So the side skirts have just been built. Now he's going for the machine gun at the top. He's got 33 munitions left in the bank, so looks like another M8, fully upgraded M8's not going to be possible for him, at least for a little while. And here we go now. We've got that classic M8 versus HTHT Combat Center.
Destroyed and immobilized. Here come the engineers. Should they be repairing? No, they're going to fight. They're going to use their flame. Boy, that M8 has got his butt to the HTAT. That's just not where you want. Oh, he's almost dead. One more shot might do it. And good night.
He's got down
M8 down. Game on. Double vet rifles in the front, though. Wow, they did a lot of damage as that was all going on. And let's see the HT escapes with the kill.
Yeah, he really did. He got that kill, and while he was able to get that M8, you know, Aimstrong now is going back with map control here. He was able to win the infantry war, and he does have enough resources to build another one of those M8s if he wants to right now. He can't double upgrade it, but he can put another one on the field. I'm not sure if that's what his strategy is going to call for at this point. Now we have another counterattack here by the Germans. Here they come, back to the north.
Yeah, he's trying to bring out that anti-tank to do some infantry sniping. He's working on a double vet rifle squad that's very hurt, and Aimstrong needs to retreat those guys before he loses them. That's a precious squad. To have double vet rifles at 9 minutes into the game, you do not want to lose that squad.
Yeah, you know, I gotta say, Kot's ability to put his forces back onto the field right after an engagement like that is pretty impressive. I mean, look at that. This is the entire German army right back where they were less than a minute ago. Through some very fast reinforcing and good grouping, they're right back where they were.
And Kot has wisely built a second Ketten. I think the PE, in my opinion, always needed Ketten capping around. You should, and if you lose it, you should rebuild it. That's just my feeling of the style that the faction requires. Because you basically fight all your guys off in the middle and then cap behind them.
Yeah, that's right. Now, it looks like Aimstrong has opted to forego a second M8 and instead now has built a anti-tank gun. He's got a 57mm that is about 15 seconds away from coming out of that motor pool. So looks like he wants to take out that AT-HT before any other damage is done. And also he is putting up a medic center, finally, to heal these badly wounded rifle squads that are in his base. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them with 2 engineer squads that all need healing. They're finally getting some medicing.
Yeah, I think the M8 was the only unit he lost. He's got all of the original infantry that he built. And, you know, Aimstrong, he's sort of lost control of the center, but interestingly enough, he still has both +10 fuels. You must be swimming in fuel. And since you don't have bars yet, I would assume that Aimstrong is thinking tank depot very soon.
Yeah, you know, he just spent all of his manpower reinforcing these rifle squads. He's got 106 fuel in the bank, but basically no manpower. He just spent it all, bringing his army back up to full health now. So, you know, he could go bars if he wanted to. He's got this 57mm backing him up. You know, he's got 2 bits of flame, 2 coming his way south here. So he's got a pretty good infantry force to raid here. He might be able to do some serious damage against now this big engagement right here in the center. Let's take a look and see what happened.
Big sloppy engagement. We see flamers burning haystacks to the ground. They're trying to stay in cover. And the PE have like a ring around. It's almost like a noose, but his squads, he's losing control of them a bit. Running across that road was not a very good idea. The rifles are all bunched up. Could you imagine what a mortar shot would do right now to them? But oh, wow.
Yeah, even a flame grenade. See, look at how much longer these rifle squads were able to survive now that they're at full health. Again, they're able to really sort of push the PE around to where Aimstrong wants the PE to be. Now we've got some really close-range combat here. These 2 PE squads in the south, one of them's got to retreat. The other one, the G43, is at minimum range here where they don't do as much damage. Looks like this second vet rifle squad may be able to engage and get these PE down.
Aimstrong!
No, just lost
Why?
one.
Aimstrong, do you realize you still have to retreat through 2 PG squads? He already lost 1 vetted rifle squad. Now, if he loses this double vet squad, that will be crippling. You can see the PGs are focusing on the retreating squad as they run by. There's 1 man left. No, there's 2 still. They're trickling through, and those are going to barely survive. But I think Aimstrong stayed in that battle way too long. I mean, he loves to just charge in there, doesn't he? He's very aggressive.
Yeah, I know. You know, he is very confident of his micro abilities, which is really good. But you know what? Boy, that was really risky. He almost lost that second squad retreating through there. He lost 1. That's going to hurt him. You know, it looks like KOT has now upgraded to 4-man squads. I didn't notice that before. That means even more PE manpower on the field. None of them upgraded really, except for that first one with G43s. But this is going to be a problem with riflemen. I think we're going to need to see some bars here if they want to keep playing this infantry game together.
Yeah, I think Aimstrong is sort of making a mistake not spending his fuel here. He had such a great fuel advantage, but you know now the Ketten is doing its job. The fighting happens on the right, the Ketten caps the fuel on the left. That's textbook. That's how it's supposed to be.
Okay, here's the problem. We are in for a big surprise for the Americans right now. What he just upgraded in the barracks, we might see in just 1 second here. Boom! Grenades! Exactly what he wanted. What a huge turnaround in combat right there. Instead of bars, he went for those ultra hyper accurate grenades now in this new patch, and what damage did it do to the German player. Wow, that was a big win.
There were losses on both sides because before the grenade went off, the flamers, you know, like combusted on themselves in a big ball of fire, so he lost a flamer engineer squad there.
Yeah, boy, but this new patch, boy, the nuclear pineapples from years ago are now back, and Americans can use them greatly to their advantage. Now, see, KOT is going to have to worry about grouping his PE squads, and he's going to have to be really, really tight on watching what the American riflemen do. You've got to watch for that throwing motion, because if you wait to see the numbers, it's already too late. If you see that grenade countdown, you're already looking at casualties. So he's got to keep his focus on wherever the engagement is to make sure he doesn't take another grenade to the face like that.
Yeah, KOT's still got his AT-HT, he's still got his Ketten, he's building a mortar half-track now, he's got the Kampfgruppe company up. I think he like I, saw those blobbed-up rifles and had wet dreams about a mortar shell landing on their heads. And meanwhile, Simon's doing a great job recapping that fuel on the left. That was a very nice bit of harassment on that side of the map. I'm just going to do a quick time sync. We are at 15 minutes and 25 seconds, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Yeah, I got you. We are all synced up, and now looks like we have Rifleman garrisoning that stone house. And oh, flame grenades! We're going to see all kinds of grenade action, I guess, this game. Flame grenades versus nuclear pineapples. Both players now have to pay attention. Even now, more so, the American, there is no countdown timer for flame grenades. They explode the second they hit the ground, so they have both upped the ante, double down on grenade action.
This is developing into quite a nice game here, I think. Here comes another PE flame grenade, and those rifles have to go. Nice quick retreat there, didn't take a lot of damage. And
yeah, I like how both players,
flamers on the left are chased off.
Yeah, both players are doing a back-and-forth action. They are both capitalizing. When they see forces retreat off the field, they are just capping all of the correct stuff in order to get just that little bit of resource advantage that can make a difference in a game like this. Because both players really, the manpower balance is about the same. I think they've lost about the same amount of manpower in combat, I'd say.
KOT is really capping up the map now, and he zipped his mortar half-track up to the front to try and take some shots at that AT gun. Aimstrong wisely moves it deeper back into the perimeter of his base as his infantry try to hold his cut-off strap point here, but man, there are PGs everywhere.
All right, we're about to see our first American shock unit on the field. Here comes the M10. It's not going to do a lot of damage versus infantry right away, but it is going to give him the upper hand if he wants to take out that mortar half-track or do any other sort of damage to the base as it comes down. Here comes that M10 now aggressively moving through the center of the field. Panzer Grenadiers with really nothing can touch it, and as I said, they are going to go, oh, M10 misfire against the mortar half-track. Immobilized, though, by the AT-HT. Do the Panzer Grenadiers have AT grenades?
I don't know, but we just have a Hetzer coming onto the field. KOT
they do! AT grenades have been upgraded.
Yeah, there they are. They're throwing it into the sides of the M10 now, and he's immobilized. Oh, wow. It looks... Was that field repairs going? I saw briefly.
It was field repairs, but you know what? There was so much damage being done by the Panzer Grenadiers that it wasn't able to repair itself out of the immobilization, and now it's a sitting duck. No combat abilities whatsoever. That Hetzer is going to take it down. Oh, boy. That was a big loss for the Americans.
Really beautiful play by KOT. He saved the AT-HT. It was way back in the fog of war, and when that M10 snuck into the middle of the map, or rushed into the middle of the map, the AT-HT snuck up and popped it, and that's just really a great trap set, and nice tactics there. And the Hetzer comes on right at the right moment to finish the job.
And now we have an weak American counterattack here. Looks like it's getting the job done, though. Understrength infantry squads moving southbound through the field. This Hetzer's going to kite him back to minimum damage, and it looks like these... Oh my god, we just lost a flamer squad for the Americans. That's going to set him back. But he was able to achieve his goal. Looks like he was able to retreat most of the German army off the field.
You can see the experience, though, that KOT has with this faction. I mean, he's so good at preserving the PGs. I don't know about you, but when I play Panzer Elite, I'm very aggressive, and I have a tendency to lose my squads. But look at KOT's experience, the way he does soft retreats and the way he does full retreats. You know, it's really beautifully played with the infantry here. And there we have another American rifleman squad about to be annihilated. Let's see if they can escape these G43s. They
were able to get away.
Barely going to make it out of there, and the AT gun now has no coverage, no infantry support, and he's got a hot tail it as well. And Aimstrong is pretty much capped off the map because while all this was going on, that little Ketten was going to work on the left-hand side.
Oh man, this is right where the G43s with the offensive upgrade really shines. Long-range combat, certainly even while they're running. I mean, look at that. That 57mm gun just barely escaped with its life, and now he's got to retreat it all the way back to the med bunker to get it repaired. And now we've got a Sherman, a standard American Sherman coming out of the tank depot right now. He has enough munitions to upgrade the top gunner if he wanted to. He's not doing it yet. We'll see what happens next.
The M4 Sherman, an absolutely beautiful model, one of my favorite units in the entire game of Company Heroes. The standard American tank. You know, they might not have been as strong as a Tiger, but the Americans and the Brits built them in mass. and they overwhelmed the German armies on the battlefields with just mass production. And that's just, it's such a funny looking tank, you know. It's like before the sort of modern, the Pershing kind of modernized the shape of the tank, and of course the German Tigers and Panthers and so forth. But that's a funny looking tank, isn't it? You can really tell it's something out of World War II. You'll never see a tank that looks quite like that again.
Yeah, it's a metal box with a turret on it. I mean, that's basically what it is. Literally, it's a metal rectangle. You know, there's
this turret is so unique. You know, it's like a cast iron turret. It's like one huge cast iron piece. You know, it's not built out of walls or welds or anything. It's like one single piece. It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's like a pot. It's like a stew pot. They just turned upside down.
There you go. Yeah, exactly, a stew pot. Very good. I like that.
Okay, so now we've got
immobilized.
Although it looks like Aimstrong has popped field repairs. He's going to try and repair himself out of that. Combat all sides of the field now, although it looks like coming into the center, these Panzer Grenadiers double upgraded with offensive vet. What are they trying to do here? Trying to take out this AT gun. That's what they want. Oh, did he just mortar himself? I think he may have accidentally just mortared himself. No,
Well,
he got
Kot
achieved his goal to get that
mortar round behind the tank. I guess maybe he thought there were engineers repairing it, but there weren't. But he was lucky. Although the flame sort of overshot the only viable target, which was the 57, it still did the job, and the 57 died. So.
Yeah, that's why he was able to move his Hetzer up now. This Hetzer is now facing this Sherman that's already at half health. Before the Sherman was firing at Panzer Grenadiers, but the Hetzer was firing at the Sherman, so... Oh, man, look at that. There was an attempt to steal the AT gun. Looks like he may not be able to get away with it, though.
Yeah, those triple vet rifles were not having it. Not only did they... Oh, my goodness! They cleared the AT gun, and then, with a great nade and then a target fire on the retreating squad, they eliminated a PG squad. Those are some hero rifles right there, those two guys.
Yeah.
They need to...
And he almost lost him again.
They need to put some papers in and phone up Brooklyn and add 4 more men to that badass squad, because those guys are veterans of the game right there. They're strong.
Okay, now we got Aimstrong bringing out an M10. He has that understrength Sherman in his base. I don't see any engineer. Oh, just a brand new engineer squad was just built to repair that Sherman. He's got to keep it alive, man. That shock unit is really the only thing, one of the only things that's keeping him in the game against such an overwhelming amount of PE forces. Oh, it looks like PE have also upgraded to a field headquarters at that center stone building. That's going to help him a lot keep that center under control.
Yeah, they'll be able to reinforce there. You know, he's got these 4-man squads. That gives him the luxury of attempting to steal 57s. Look what he's done. He's placed a mine behind that 57. It's a teller mine. Now let's see if he can. Oh, there it is! He set it off. Oh, I get it. As soon as they get on the vehicle, as soon as they get on the 57, it goes off. Of course, man.
It became an active vehicle. Actually, I have not seen that strategy used before that effectively.
I mean, not only did he kill the 57, but it killed the entire squad. It killed the entire squad. That was that triple vet squad, man. Or was it?
Oh,
was it? It was.
I don't know. I don't think it was. I'm looking for the triple vet squad. Yeah, it might have been.
I think it was. That was the triple vet squad, and that's fucking GG right there, man. How do you come back from that?
That was huge. What a strategy, you know? It's like a regular mine in front of the AT gun I've seen before, but a teller mine, that's genius. That really is. Now this Hetzer's in big trouble, though.
Yeah, the Hetzer's sort of doing the dance of death. He's spinning around trying to find the target, and the Hetzer and the M10 die at the same moment. The Sherman's trying to back out and save his skin. We've still got a second Hetzer on the field, and these PGs are just having their way with the vanilla rifles.
Wow, Kot has managed to push rifles right off the field. Boy, they're just escaping with their lives. And now even the Sherman has gone full defensive, trying to retreat back into the base. There's a huge amount of PE manpower right outside the American base. I mean, look at that. We've got how many? 1 Hetzer, 2 full-strength PE squads, an AT half-track. Boy, anything the Americans can throw down there can be countered pretty easily.
Yeah, I think Aimstrong's biggest fault in this game was his inability to preserve his squads. He lost flamers, he lost rifle squads. I mean, he's just got a tiny army right now. I mean, the mechanics of COH, the way the manpower works, It sort of allows you to stay in the game late even though you don't have much map control, because when your army's small you actually get more manpower, but you just can't compete with a veteran army, you know, with double offensive upgrades and G43s with vanilla rifles. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, you know. The game is forgiving, it does allow for comebacks, but in this particular situation, a well-prepared force sitting outside your base is very, very difficult to overcome without some sort of artillery. Now, it looks like Aimstrong has gone Pershing side of Armor Company, so he does have a Pershing waiting to come out. He's got about 80 more manpower, and he can pull it out, so that might be able to save him for this last little hurrah that he's going to try and go for here and see if he can break out of his base.
I think KOT wants ammo now. He's built a scout guard and he's upgraded it so that he can lock down a point. Hasn't quite done it yet. There it is. He's got plus 26 ammo coming in now. And here we have the Pershing on the field. Another really fantastic model in the game. And listen to this main gun. Listen to it. Well, he's got to shoot something here.
He's got to fire first.
There it is.
There it is.
What a cannon.
That thing is a cannon.
Another quick time sync. I'm at 26 minutes and 50 seconds. 51, 52, 53.
Now I've neglected another problem that the American has. You know, he now has no victory points under his control, and he's dropped down to about 109 tickets. This is going to be a big problem here. He's got to take back victory points as well as territory. Now, two Hetzers are doing front damage to this Pershing. Now, its gun is strong, but boy, it's getting reflected off that sloped armor of the Hetzer. I'm shocked at its inability to penetrate front armor of the Hetzer right now. Now, look at this. It's already at half health. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, that was the first real good lick that he got in, and it did about 30% damage, but all the other shots have either bounced off or missed. It's not getting good penetration with the Pershing at the moment. And here we have a bunch of PGs. Are they going to try to repair? What are they doing? They're going to go throw 18 nades, I believe, and try to finish off this Sherman. Let's see what. Oh boy, but man, they're taking a lot of splash damage off the front end of the Hetzer. That's funny. Whoa, man, they're really. Oh, one Hetzer's down. PGs are dying. Crew repairs are keeping these two American tanks alive, and I gotta commend Aimstrong for hanging in there. You know. He's really making a fight of it.
Is there a mortar half-track somewhere on the field? Yes, it just took out those engineers that were repairing the Pershing, so now it's moving forward to engage. I think these Hetzers have upgraded APCR rounds. That's the only way they could be doing this much damage to the Pershing. It must be.
So the Pershing is now hitting field repairs and kiting this Hetzer. Destroyed engine, one more good shot might actually do it, and that would leave KOT a little light on anti-tank.
Yeah, this is true. You know, one of the great things about the Pershing, it is the biggest tank to move as fast as it does. I mean, this thing moves as fast or faster than a Sherman, and it has a gigantic gun. There's nothing in the German army. He was able to get behind that Hetzer with no problems whatsoever. And now he is in control of the field in the center. Aimstrong needs to cap back some stuff ASAP. Looks like he, though, has almost no infantry. One rifle squad and two engineers. This is going to be a problem when it comes to cap.
Yeah, it's going to make it very difficult for him to. I mean, he did manage to get one VP, so that'll slow the ticker a bit. But it's down under 60 now. We can see another Hetzer called on, and the ATHT is back. Destroyed engine. Oh, the Pershing's a bit of a sitting duck now.
Oh, this is a problem. Yeah, these APCR rounds that they
immobilized. Still going to be close. KOT doesn't like it.
To that Pershing.
KOT's
Although, you know,
back.
this Hetzer looks pretty weak. May have to retreat off the field. He's.
Look at Aimstrong, scrappy. Rifles go straight to the center VP, and man, he's making a game of it here.
Yeah, he's going to try and do everything he can.
He needs to get some repairs on that Pershing, and here we see KOT is repairing his Hetzer. I like, though, that KOT didn't get sort of overzealous and rush ahead for the kill, that instead of throwing his units away or trying to cap VPs or hold them, he's just doing a little soft retreat and repairing his army, you know, and that's the way to do it in COH. Some of these late-game moments, it can be a meat grinder just trying to cap a VP, you know, when you're desperate. you don't want to do that. You want to fight off the army first and never cap under fire if you can manage it.
Yeah, at this point in the game, I completely agree with you. Kot's actually doing something very interesting here. I don't think that he can see the Pershing. Maybe he can in his in the fog of war. He's just mortaring it to make sure that there's no engineers can repair it. That's protectively. I think he wants to keep that Pershing right where it is so that he can finish it off as soon as his Hetzer is fully repaired, which I think it is now.
Yeah, he can barely see it. The line of sight from the ammo point lights it up. So yeah, he knows exactly where he's mortaring. He's got good LOS on it.
I think this Pershing is about to go down by this Hetzer. I do not see any way that Aimstrong can save it at this point. He really has no engineers doing anything meaningful. Well, he's just capping the strap point in the center there with these engineers. I think he's ready to abandon this Pershing.
I'm curious now. We saw Aimstrong in the first game rushing a VP, you know, because I wonder who had more VPs when they won. There goes the Pershing, 47 XP for KOT. And that'll pretty much seal the deal on the second game. And I'm curious now as who gets choice in game number 3. I didn't take note. 500 nothing in the other one, so then Aimstrong would get choice. I wonder what he'll choose.
We'll see here. Looks like this Sherman, even with the destroyed engine, is desperately trying to do some damage on the retreat. This Hetzer I thought maybe was going to go do some more damage, but looks like he is going to sit tight.
Yeah, you know, P is an interesting faction because in the early and mid game, they're like the fastest faction in the game. And, you know, they can rush you with an infantry half-track full of PGs, or they can zip armored cars or scout cars all over the map. But, you know, like when it transitions out of the middle game, they become the most slow, conservative faction, and it's all about like keeping your guys alive and having this nice, wide front line and strong units and really slow sort of pushes in formation. You know, isn't it interesting how the faction changes throughout the game?
It does, and I think this is why a lot of inexperienced players end up losing with the PE, is because they don't make that transition. They go kamikaze, like, you know, you mentioned you do, and I know I certainly do when I play PE, and you run right into like a problem American force, you know, and when you're going kamikaze, you're losing squads, and this is a big problem.
So somehow Aimstrong managed the manpower for a second Pershing, but it too is quickly immobilized by a now double defensive infantry half-track. Anti-tank half-track there.
Yeah, you know what, this is going to be how KOT looks like he wants to finish off this game. He is not going to try and destroy the American army, he's just going to keep them off the VPs. He only needs to keep it down about 50 more tickets, and he can win. So, you know, he can immobilize that Pershing and just keep it out of combat, and he knows that there's not a lot of capping power for the Americans. This is his strategy. He's thinking this out.
Oh, there's a big bunch of dead Americans. Maybe NTD can zoom in on our triple offensive vet Panzer Grenadiers with 30 infantry kills and a tank kill. Hero Squad MVP right there.
Yeah, wow, look at this. Now we got this Pershing. Oh boy, now we have the Jagdpanther destroying this Pershing. No hope at all whatsoever for that American tank to survive this awesome assault by the PE. Down goes that Pershing. Boy, this is sealed the deal for Aimstrong tonight.
KOT brought out the Yag, and he is the cherry on the tip top of the cake to close this out in style. Another wonderful, sexy tank, a big, massive thing, horrible Yag Panzer. So we are all tied up at 1-1. I'm going to give Yoik a chance to wet his whistle, NTD a chance to update our slick-ass overlays, and we'll be right back at you with Game 3, the deciding game of the semifinals. Who will make it into the grand finals to be played on Monday night of tournament number 19? We're going to find out shortly. Stay with us.